Hey there, welcome to the UkeStuff channel and welcome to this play along tutorial for the play along videos of It's a Beautiful Day as performed by the Kiffness and Rushawn. I think it was a video that was originally posted that went viral of a young man singing the song, and then people have added harmony and other parts of the song to make a complete song, and that is what this version is. But I think it really does honor the original recording of the young boy that sang the song, as well as keeps in the spirit of the whole song altogether. So what we're going to do in this video is, first of all, we'll look at the chords you need for GCEA, soprano, concert, or tenor ukulele. Then we'll take a look at the chords you need for baritone DGBE ukulele. And then we'll talk about strumming, which is a little bit of a twist on this one if you want to try to replicate what you hear on the recording. Also, if you want to support the work here on the channel, there are three things you can do. First of all, you can subscribe to the channel. Second, you can like the video. And third, you can always buy me a cup of coffee to say thank you for making this content at buymeacoffee.com/UkeStuff. All right, let's begin with the chords you need for GCEA, soprano, concert, or tenor ukulele. I'll be using this instrument. This is my Enya Nova U concert ukulele. First chord is the C chord. Then you have the G chord. Then the A minor chord, and then the F chord. And then the surprise here, which is the F minor chord. So what I would tell you to do is this. For F minor, first I'll play your, what we call the Hawaiian D7 or D7 with just two fingers, and then move it up one fret. So start with what you know, which is probably that Hawaiian D7, and then just move it up one fret, and then add your pinky on the first string, third fret. And that's your F minor chord. And those are the 5 chords you need to play It's a Beautiful Day on GCEA, soprano, concert, or tenor ukulele. Now, let's take a look at the chords you need for baritone ukulele. All right, for baritone ukulele, I'll be using this instrument. This is my Tom concert ukulele with Pepe Romero baby baritone strings on it, allowing me to tune it like a low G baritone ukulele. The first chord is the C chord. Then the G chord, then the A minor chord, which is just like the C chord with an extra finger, then the F chord. Now let's talk about bar chords really quickly. This is one of the major requests on all the different ukulele sites that are out there, is how do I make bar chord playing easier? Again, this comes mainly from Craig Chi, who is a teacher that now lives in Hawaii with his wife, Sarah Maisel. And he introduced me to this idea. I saw him at a music festival talking about it, and it made total sense to me. After trying to clench and put my fingers in the right spot and everything, it just never really clicked for me. But here's how bar chords work. First and foremost, if you miss it and it doesn't sound perfect, that's okay. That's the first thing. But second, what you want to do is you want to put your finger on your fretboard, obviously, wherever it needs to be. So in this case, it's right above the metal first fret on strings 1 and 2. And you're holding your ukulele securely with your strumming hand or your picking hand, okay? So if you're left-handed, you can flip this around if you need to. And then you just pull against the fretboard. So you're using leverage. You're pulling against it. You're holding your ukulele, and that pulling against the instrument, which is sort of a natural feel, gives you most of the sound you need. Then you can add your thumb for just a little bit of support. You don't have to over squeeze. You don't have to cause pain to make it happen. And then you just add a couple fingers. Now, it's also worth mentioning that if your ukulele was never set up and the action, which is how high the strings are above the frets, is really high, it can make these bar chords very difficult too. So it may be worth having your ukulele set up by somebody that knows how to do it if you don't know how to do it yourself. That can also make bar chord playing easier. So that's your F chord. You pull against those first 2 strings right above that metal first fret, holding the ukulele securely, letting leverage do the work, then add your thumb for a little support, then add the other 2 fingers. And then you get a nice sounding F chord. Then, how about the bar chord, F minor chord, which is the other chord that happens throughout the song? It's the same idea, but instead of 2 strings, you do all 4 strings. And again, you're right above the metal first fret, you're pulling against the fretboard. That gives you most of the sound you need. Then you add your thumb for just a little support. You don't need to do a lot. And then I add generally my ring finger, okay, or finger 3 to the 4th string 3rd fret. That's your F minor chord there. All right, so those are the 5 chords you need to play It's a Beautiful Day on baritone DGBE ukulele. Now let's talk about strumming. Now in this arrangement, the arranger or remixer of the song used a reggae beat. And a reggae beat is generally going to put emphasis on beats 2 and 4. So when you actually get to playing the chord sequence of C, G, A minor, and F, not counting the single strums that happen elsewhere in the song, which, I mean, anybody can just do a single down strum, right? But in this, the first thing I'm going to do is be playing on beats 2 and 4. So you could do this. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could go down up on 2, 4. And it's going to be swung. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2 and 3, 4, and. So these would work for you, either just playing 2, 4, or down up on 2 and 4. Now, the more challenging thing to do is to use a chuck. If you don't know how to chuck or chunk or palm mute, this little video here is not going to help you. There are people out there with many hours of suggestions of how to best play it. It's going to take time, but the idea of a chuck is that you hit all the strings with your hand and you make a percussive noise with your fingers, and then you stop with your palm of your hand, which is why people also call it a palm mute. Like that. Now, usually a palm mute happens on beats 2 and 4 where we're playing. But because this is reggae, we've got to now put that onto beat 1 and 3. So the first thing to practice is going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is opposite, because if you're used to playing with a chunk, the chunk is used to going on 1, 2, 3, 4. So the chunk naturally occurs on 2 and 4 for me, for sure, as a player, and I'm sure many others. So you have to switch it around. So you have to go chunk, 2, 3, 4, chuck, 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 2, chuck, 4, chuck, 2, chuck, 4. Now, keep in mind that the chuck is a down strum, right? So then what we're going to do is add the up, down, up for 2 and 4 as well. So you're going to have your down, near up, down, up, and then their chuck, up, down, up, but swung. So it's going to be like this. Chuck, up, down, up, 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 chuck, up, down. And that is going to throw you off. If you're used to playing a chuck or a chunk or a palm mute, it's usually on 2 and 4. To put that in 1 and 3 is going to mess with your mind. And if you're like me, you're going to occasionally stop and reset during the song as you play it, which is kind of fun because it makes such a song with generally easy transitions and easy chords into something that you actually have to think about. So again, it's going to be chuck, up, down, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, down. That's kind of fun to do. It's kind of a nice change. Now, if you can't do that, if you can't chuck, don't worry about it. Play one of the other things. So just go rest, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4. Or you could go rest, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. And we haven't talked about this, but you could also try to do rest, up, just like without the chuck. But the catch is you have to have your hand moving then to make that happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Any one of those would work. All right, thanks so much for joining me for this tutorial video of It's a Beautiful Day. I hope you're having a great day. I'll be back soon with some more Uke stuff for you.